impromptu live stream. It's been a long time since I've done this. The power's out, and actually this tank behind me looks really nice with the sunlight coming in the window. And there you can see Michelangelo, my seemingly happy, healthy angelfish. Anyways, completely impromptu, so nobody's going to show up at first because nobody's going to see this probably. Yeah, there's 3 people. I'm going to try to keep an eye on chat here. But, so the power's out. The power is out. And it's both islands. All of both islands. So that's kind of unfortunate. I'm going to try to use a tripod thingy, doohickey thingy here without touching buttons and messing things up. Anyways, oh, you can see the drone on the roof. I mean, on the ceiling. Anyways, so the issue here, what's going on is I have this fortunate thing with these tetrafish. The tetrafish have a parasite, which they came with from Peru. You know, it came from Peru. So I've been trying to medicate that, and I overdosed a little bit of General Cure, so metronidazole and praziquantel, along with some salt in the tank. And one of my angelfish, they're both rescues. It's kind of a long, a story. There's a story behind that. I got them both as rescues when they were like silver dollar size or smaller, and I thought it would, it's one of them challenges. Oh, I'm gonna, save these fish, and so I did. I took them from the fish store, got them for free. They were covered in ick, didn't have any fin. And so now, I was scared the other night. The female, she looked like she was about to die. She was literally laying on her side, 3 o'clock in the morning. I finally went to bed and left her alone in a tub with an RO line going into it to give her a bunch of RO water, and I thought she was going to be dead in the morning. She looked dead when I went to bed, and I woke up in the morning and she was swimming around. So she's in a separate tub now in the kitchen. Everything's a big mess. But if I get... She's in this tub right now, and she's kind of okay. She's kind of okay, but she's not really okay. Her fins have a little on them. I do have some, it's kind of hard to see her in here because there's some methylene blue in here with her, but the airstone is not going right now because the power's out. Super awesome. All the tanks, everything's just sitting quiet, which wouldn't be so bad. It's one thing to just do it to the fish out of nowhere. Like if these fish were used to it, they were adjusted to the levels of oxygen and stuff in the water, and it wouldn't be. So it's just the shock of it. And it's not even really a problem for any of my tanks so much as a sick fish in medication, because I really like to keep the oxygen levels high when you have medication in the water. I don't know how this is going to focus, but it is really nice. This tank, this is a cool way to see this tank. Let me get this. I'm live again. Oh, awesome. Buffering. Yeah, so there's pretty much when the power goes out here in the Caribbean, there's a lot of towers and stuff that lose power as well because their generators are not prepared and ready for this. A lot of people aren't prepared and ready, especially after Irma, still just trying to get it back together, believe it or not. So I got a reflection. You can see me in the background. And it's shaky, and I prefer for it not to be shaky. There we go. Put it on the chair for a minute. But the issue here, I'm trying to watch the chat and sit here and try not to touch the camera though. So it's good to see everybody in here. I had nothing else to do. I'm sitting here just trying not to sweat in here with the window open so I get some airflow in here. And just watching my tanks and making sure everybody's all right. This is why I don't have saltwater. Everybody's all right. This is why I don't have saltwater aquariums. This is why I don't do saltwater, because of these kind of power outages. So basically what's going on in here is these Imperial Tetra do have a parasite. And now the ones that have the parasite definitely like have it all over. And then there's the ones that, it's either they like have it all over or they don't have it at all. So there's 3 left alive in here that do have the parasite, and the rest of the Imperial Tetras look beautiful. And my male angelfish in here, he looks beautiful as well. He doesn't have really anything on him at all. He's looking good. But I don't know. I'll have to see what happens with the female angelfish. Her fins aren't looking good. I know she can repair, they can be repaired, but I don't know how it got so bad, how she got so bad. No, that doesn't really help. The sunlight doesn't help. Anyways, so this is island life. Haley, right? No power outages. No power outages and high-speed internet. And waste in, water out, or water in, waste out. That's it. All you really need is one sink. You can wreck everything out of one sink, out of the waste. Anyways, we could take a little glimpse of quiet island life. This is island life without WAPA, without power. It's bright. It's bright. It's a nice sunny day. As I see people I know walking by and they want to wave at me, I'm like, no! Nobody saw me. Alright, so I've got stuff sitting all over the place in here. The house is a wreck. It is a mess. Complete and total mess. Oh boy. So in the end, this tank is completely isolated. I can't really do everything that happens with this tank, including my arms, my hands, my body, anything. I try to I'm trying not to even put my hands in here. Everything that comes in contact with this tank is sterilized or is just for this tank until it goes in the garbage, to be completely honest. That's the frustrating part about it, is I don't even want to have to deal with this issue, because forever and forever this tank, until I tear it down completely and bleach it, I don't feel safe with it. I don't feel safe just putting my hands in it, even with, for that matter, with an open wound, because some of this stuff can be pretty, people don't think about it, but I mean, in the saltwater world, people think about it more so. But in the freshwater world, I mean, you have open wounds on your hands. There's still stuff that you can contract from the aquarium, from the fish keeping hobby, if you're not careful. I love that hazelnut piece in there. I plan on putting a lot more dried botanicals in here. I have a crazy amount of botanicals over in my shipping corner over here. I've got all kinds of stuff that I plan on working with. This is okay. Big truck going by. This is when you know that you've got an issue. People come over like, what is that about? But that's banana and coconut palm frond and some other date palm. I have that, and then we have a oh, look at that. Literally stuff just strewn on the floor. Oh, look at those. Those are cool. Those are nice. Those look really cool. Is that a birch cone? Oh, I'm gonna fall over. There you go. Put that in your aquarium. Those are cool. Yeah, or this is literally a black garbage bag full of almond leaves. A little bit of banana in here too. But I try to conserve. I could go through that bag real quick. Real quick. Oh, what else do we have here? This. I need to get a little crazy with some black water tanks that's coming up in the future. This is all botanicals in here. I'll show you what in there, but all of this coconut, even another coconut, almond leaves. More almond leaves. Anyways, all kinds of craziness. But I was gonna do a video. I have 2 videos planned before this happened to me the last 2 days. I have my blue tetras. I'm setting up another tank for them. I have another tank ready to split a tank again to have my third tank. And then on top of that, I'm looking at doing a Blackwater scape down here in this tank in the bottom right hand corner. I want to go ahead and scape that out and do a Blackwater scape for wild betta fish in there. But I don't want to touch anything while I'm touching this tank right now. It's like I want to get this settled. I want everything. I want to know that everything's been cleaned, bleached, sterilized. You know, things that have touched this tank, and then I don't even want to put my hands in any other tanks right now. But that's what you get for getting fish from the wild. I mean, they are pretty. So much reflection, but it's the only light I have is natural light right now through this window because the power being out. And I lose all my air conditioning. If I want to see, I kind of have to pass. And then there's this mess. I definitely have a problem. I admit that. I don't plan on it getting better, but I admit that I have a problem. So these here are the first batch of the first collection of wild guppies that I collected for Rack and for Greg Jones years ago. It feels like about a year ago. They were quarantined in another tank. They all ended up in here, the main batch in there. And from that batch, I have trios in each of these buckets with almond leaves. And then in this bucket is a new batch that is under quarantine. This is a new batch of wild guppies that I collected a week ago. So about 2 weeks ago, and they're just being medicated slowly, and I'm giving their water changes. These guys don't get crazy amount of water changes. You can see by the tannins in there, but they don't really need it. But they're not going to be in there for much longer. In the end, I'm going to split them up. I don't know, you can see there's fry in there already, but those are not fry that those are still going to go back into the main tank because those were not from the males probably. It was way too soon. Those fry that were dropped couldn't have been from these males. But these act more like indlers because you can see there's only a few fry in there. The females drop like 1 or 2 fry at a time, and it's very significant of indlers. They tend to do like 2, 3 fry at a time at the most. That's just average anyways, from what I've been told and from my experience with indlers. And that's just really crazy though with the wild guppies. They're very similar in that respect. They drop, and they'll drop like, and then the next day they'll drop like 2 more fry, and then maybe the next day they drop 1 fry, and they just stagger it out. And supposedly that's on purpose so that all the females are not all dropping fry at the same time, and just kind of staggers out the fish. Yeah, sounds like Amber's planning some fun stuff for Chicago. I'm just gonna go with the flow. Just going with the flow. That's best. Anyway, sorry about the cars and stuff and the noise, but that's what it is. This island life. I'm just sitting here, holding out, waiting for the power to come back on. More than likely the power will come on before the sun goes down. I shouldn't say that, but I crossed my fingers. Oh, that'll be fun. I got some cool artwork. This is obviously Miss Priscilla right there. This is something cool I found on the internet. Somebody local actually gave this to me for Christmas. I don't know where her mom is an artist and makes different stuff, and she makes these with the scraps from her glass art. And that was really sweet that she thought of me, knowing that I'm into fish, and she hooked me up with that. Gave it to me for Christmas. It was wrapped in everything. I was like, oh, that's sweet. This was a gift too. That's pretty cool. That's a piece of metal art. Angelfish. And then even this, oh, the lighting is horrible. Let's move that. Even the lamp. The lamp is even broken, but I'm keeping it, even though it's got a crack in it, because it's fish. I love that lamp. Anyways, All right, what's going up in the chat here? Sorry to keep you guys from your regular activities. This is not anything super special. I'm just kind of have nothing else to do completely. I've got about 20% left on my phone. I figured I might as well just go live with you guys and chill out for a minute and hang out before my phone just goes dead. And the power, whenever the power comes back on, everything goes back to normal. Charge my phone, turn on the AC, all that good stuff. Oh, the reflection doesn't help though. The natural light is beautiful when you want to see the colors of the fish in person, but when it comes to filming, but that looks nice. I love blackwater biotopes just for, and that natural lighting is so cool too. I want more twigs in there, more twigs and sticks and stuff for sure. And all those botanicals I just showed you, I'm definitely going to put some of that stuff in this tank. Just want to get this thing sorted out. I want to deal with the remaining of the infested fish that are in here. Get the female angelfish back in here. And, oh cool, you can see me in the reflection. There you go. Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? Anyways. The only positive thing about the reflection in an aquarium. Anyways, yes, it's a bummer when the power goes out around here. It is definitely a bummer. Everything stops. That's why I've given in. My phone's gonna go dead, so whatever. Might as well go live, stream a little bit. Anyways, let me see if I can see the chat. Dan Slee is up in here as well. Tampa Tom, how are you? Good to see you here. Jess, Shrimp Granny, how are you? Looking forward to seeing a lot of you at Aquashella. That is going to be fun. Definitely look forward to Aquashella. It's really awesome to see an event like that growing. I love the energy behind it and kind of the creativity behind it and all of the art and whatnot. Definitely, it takes it to another level, and it's a good way to get young people into the hobby as well, I think. So I'm really stoked about that. I'm really happy to be a part of it, and I don't know, I look forward to seeing as many people there as possible. Look forward to filming a little bit more, not too much more. Dean, how are you? Yeah, it's all right. It's all right, Dean. It's awesome. Oh, I was talking to Michael Barber, and I was talking about the Iquitos trip, and obviously I can't go. I can't do Iquitos and do Aquashella and do the aquatic experience. Financially, I can't do them and keep my job at the same time too. So that's a bummer, but I would really like to do the Amazon River, do the northern end of Peru. That would be really fun. But you guys are going to have a ball. You're going to have fun. You're going to get really muddy. I know that. But you'll probably be able to find some angelfish and some discus. Maybe some kind of freshwater stingray. But I'm not going to stay on here too super long. Like, I don't know. I don't have any plans. I don't have any subject matter here except that these fish are sick, and then one of the angelfish now is in her old holding tank right now to keep her separated so she can have a little bit cleaner water with less medication. She just can't take it. I did not realize that I can get formalin at the drugstore. I can't seem to get it in my drugstore, but I guess in the States it's pretty easy to get over the counter in the drugstore. I do have Cupramin coming just to have it. It's gonna get, by the time it gets here, I don't know, I think I'm gonna work everything out with levamisole and metronidazole and whatnot. I do have a Panicure coming as well. So for me though, living on the island, all I can do is pretty much wait for things to come in the mail. I mean, even if someone were to send it to me, I mean, they're gonna have to go through the process of have to be shipped like overnight or something. It would still get here in 2 days. It just exactly right. I mean, look, I don't know. This is a problem. This is a problem. This is the beginning of a problem. I can see this already. I get it. I admit that this is the beginning of a problem. Buckets and tubs everywhere. Like I said before, I definitely could not. I mean, the only way I can get away with this is because I live alone. Buckets and tubs everywhere. But yeah, it's nice and quiet. All the fish tanks are nice and quiet. I've noticed that the shrimp definitely like a little bit of oxygen, though. I do notice that when the shrimp lose oxygen, lose aeration in the tank, they start to want to move around. They start doing circles and laps around the tank. When they've been used to having that level of oxygenation in the water, aeration and whatnot, to it not being there, all of a sudden they definitely it hits them a little bit. I've noticed that. I mean, I'm sure that if they once they got adjusted to it, they'd probably be all right. But I definitely like even in this tank, I see these blue bolts starting to move around a little faster than normal. Um, anyways, can't see much though in the dark, and I get that. So that's why I feel like it's boring, and I don't really want to go very long. Yeah, I need solar. I actually have a solar panel on the roof. It's not the panels that are even the money, and it's not the important part. I mean, obviously you do need the panels, but what people really forget, it's all about the batteries. You need to have good quality batteries, and that's what makes a good photovoltaic system work, a good solar system work, is having quality batteries, having lots of milliamp hours, lots of watts of battery backup. That's why Tesla Powerwalls are actually a pretty legit thing, because they pack a good punch. I mean, one Tesla Powerwall is 2,000 watts. My neighbor right next door to me has 6 Tesla Powerwalls stacked, and so yeah, he's got over 10,000 watts that he's got next door. So in an emergency, long-term power outage, he's already offered me a couple extension cords over here for tanks and refrigeration. He knows what I'm doing over here. So if it was more of a weather thing, a long-term emergency thing, I've got the cords ready to run and everything. But yeah, it's the deep cycle batteries. The best batteries are the Trojan brand, the T105RE, which stands for Renewable Energy, and it's a 6-volt battery. So you really have to have more of them, because you have to set them up in a series parallel circuit of some kind in order to get yourself to 24 or 36 volts or whatever it might be where your system is running. Anyways, we can get all geeky on that. I know about photovoltaics. I've set up a lot of solar systems and whatnot. And at the very most, with what I have running right now, I'd have to have 4 of those deep cycle T105s batteries and a series parallel circuit, and they are about $150 a piece. So yeah, I'm looking at $600 to $1,000 to create the battery backup I need for the one solar panel I have on the roof right now that's just sitting up there on the roof, which I acquired. I acquired that after Irma, but I never acquired enough batteries to actually complete the system. See, because if you're going to run an inverter, you want to have enough watts on the other side of battery backup to actually convert, because you lose a little bit when you convert to 110 or anything like that. Anyways, let's talk about fish. Anyways, or Aquashella. I look forward to seeing some of you guys at Aquashella. It is going to be fun. It is going to be fun. Be interesting to see it in Chicago. In Chicago, I haven't been. I've been to Chicago for the AE, but I haven't not been there for the Aquashella. So, be interesting to see the venue and the layout and all that. Let me check out the chat. Sounds Aquatics. All right, you're gonna make it there as well. That's awesome. Be interesting to see how many people make it there. And I love the rumors about it being in Las Vegas, and I almost want to spread that, because I want that to happen, just because I feel like Vegas is a good place for conventions, and I know that there'll be plenty of food, plenty of hotels, and the convention hall will be as big as it needs to be and wouldn't be a problem at all. I think it's a good place for something like Aquashella. So I hope that happens. The tetras, that's what this is all about. That's really what is the cause of this whole problem. I have an angelfish that's separated right now, but it's because I medicated this tank. I overdosed it with metronidazole and preziquatol and salt. The three of those went in the tank virtually at the same time, and it shocked the female angelfish, stressed her out, and she almost died. So I had to put her into fresh water to save her. Nobody, all the other fish acted normal except for the really, really infested tetras. One of them passed away last night, and I have 3 left that are in there that are infested. And then the ones that, it's either, like I said, it's either they have it all over them or they don't have it at all. So I don't know. I'm kind of hoping if those other 3, if they just pass away, because it seems like the medication just stresses them at the point, and then just they're dropping off. The sick ones are dropping off because the medication is, I think, is stressing them as well. Anyways, we'll see what happens. Either way, this tank is a problem for me now because, oh, here we go. That's power. We get power. The power just came back on. That's always fun. That's awesome. There we go. Yeah. Power. Power. Oh, there it goes. It gets real dark in here real quick. Maybe I need to leave that open because I can't see without it. All right. I got a mess here. I'm trying to move it around so that I can set up the camera and at least, hey. See, that's my DIY stuff right there. I got plastic bag over the light as a diffuser. That's my little trick. Don't tell everybody. Anyways, it works though. It diffuses the light a little bit. It helps. Anyways, alright, so the power's back on. That's good. I'm gonna go in here and check out this fish real quick. This angelfish. It's nice for her to have some air. Anyways, she's gonna be alright, I think, but her fins are all messed up, and I don't know how that happened. Like, they're looking really scraggly, so I want to say she's gonna be okay, but there's methylene blue in this water. I did a water change, 50% water change this morning. It's just hard to see her because of the methylene blue in the water. Anyways, alrighty. Well, I've got low battery now, and I'm gonna go ahead and deal with some of these fish. I'm gonna find food too because everything kind of went on hold when the power went out. Anyways, I appreciate you guys popping in for a little bit. Totally just impromptu, running around with my phone. I hope I didn't have anybody nauseous or sick running around with the phone and stuff. But I appreciate you guys just hanging out. Yeah. Anyways, back to the regularly scheduled programming, I guess. Let's see, Dan Slee, thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Yeah, who knows? I figured it was going to go on for even longer. I'm grateful for it coming back on here. It probably has something to do with water. Whenever it rains here, whenever it rains, all it takes is a little bit of rain. Yep, I do have salt. There's blue, methylene blue, and there is some salt. I just didn't put a whole bunch of salt in there. I'm just watching her and just thinking about how much the meds are kind of light on her. I'm working them onto her a little slowly because she's obviously proven that she's weaker than the rest of the fish, and I know that I could shock her easily by just dumping a bunch of meds or a bunch of salt in there. So I'm probably going to add a little bit more salt and even a little bit more methylene blue. That's actually a half dose of methylene blue in there. You wouldn't be able to see her at all if I actually had a full dose, because that's actually 30 gallons of water. That'd be 3 teaspoons of methylene blue. Anyways, all right, you guys, I appreciate all of your support. Amber, thank you for coordinating LFS tours and finding all the good food spots and all that stuff. It's really awesome. Anyways, you guys, thank you guys for hanging out. Sorry to bore you guys with a power outage, but yeah, it is what it is. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and try to film an actual piece of content now and sit down in front of a computer and edit it, and hopefully the power doesn't go out in the middle of that. Yeah, I don't know what I could. I mean, the lights are still off in the other one in the other room. Everybody's like, Maria's like, don't leave. I've got to go. Gotta get it done. Like, do a water change on this tank even. A little bit of algae on the glass. But these are my leucistic puppies. There's little babies everywhere in there. I'm gonna end up having to split them up because I really don't want this bioload in this tank. That many fish, so I'm gonna have to start pulling all the fry out of there, I guess, if I'm gonna keep breeding those. Anyways, and Elliot is doing better. Elliot is definitely doing better. He's healing up. Trying not to overfeed. Trying to just keep a balance on how much food he gets. Keep an eye on that. He gets like every 3 days. And some people feed their eel like every day, but I really don't want to put that much waste and bioload on the tank either. But I got to get this tank. I want to get that out of there. Get this tank rescaped. Get all the big rocks out of here, put a lot more leaf litter, and actually make him more like a cave out of PVC pipe, and then disguise that with real rock and combination of real rock and silicone and stuff like that. And then plant all this grass. I got a bunch of grass floating at the top as well, and get all this grass actually planted in this tank, and I think it'll really look good. This is pretty sweet. This is something that was actually given to me at the Aquatic Experience. That was something that I've been holding on to. Anyways, I'm just seeing that in the frame. All right, you guys, I really should get out of here. And now that I have power back, I need to go handle some of this stuff today and get going on filming what I was trying to film in the first place. And get some food in my stomach too. I'm starving. All right, you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate all your support and chilling with me through my little sweaty power outage. But remember, guys, keep your tanks clean, your fish fed, and have fun.